Hi, welcome to the Andrew Buckle book review of Warlock by Jim Starlin. This is the gallery edition. Now this replaces, for me anyway, the collection there. That's the complete collection. Material's basically the same, all the stories etc. are the same, but the bonus material is a bit more. A little bit like foam and those sort of things that's been included that was not, as far as I could see, in this. But it's still, because it's bigger, doesn't always mean it's better. Sometimes when I look at, I prefer the sharpness of the smaller scale. Sometimes when it's a bit bigger, it doesn't always have that sharpness. And you look at it and think, So that's a thing to be a thing. So it's not a given. However, this one, what does it include? And I'm just going to use the back here, because the back here, you can look here, it's actually quite hard to read. So actually the actual, obviously the stars there sort of goes over the writing and sort of makes it very tricky. So I'm just going to read this one. Strange Tales 178181, Warlock 9 to 15, Avengers Annual number 7, Marvel 2-in-1 Annual number 2. And it's always annoying because there, hopefully at some point there will be an epic collection with all the other stories of the Warlock, because there's earlier Warlock stories, Marvel Premier, Hulk, etc. And here's, of course, Marvel Premier number 1, The Power of Warlock. Obviously you can see slightly changed there, bit different, not all, but he's obviously lost his Shazam. Anyway, that's my interpretation of that one. But also slightly different, obviously, other things. He's lost an arm thing there, you can just see there. It's just a bit of different. And maybe his hairstyle's a bit different. Obviously he went to a different hairdresser that day. But that's brilliant collection. I was very happy with that. This, of course, is brilliant. I love those early Warlock stories. Actually, some of the Warlock stories, number 5, 4, etc., etc. Some of the earliest ones I read, I love them. Let's just get to this book. 328 pages, just come out. And I love these gallery editions. I think it's a great concept. And, you know, it's nice size, real sort of, colours excellent all the way through. There's slight issues with it. And I'd have to say you can see there all the details of all the various people involved. And let's just go to the contents. You can see the contents there. Got obviously a lovely picture there of Warlock. However, it's just occasional. You can hear some of the pages, and I've gone through this quite a few times, and I'm still finding pages where it's sort of still stuck together. Not all, but I'm just going to, of course, not finding it. You can hear it just occasionally, just occasionally sticks. And there's some at the end that are really pretty to force it like that. Still, the stories themselves are absolutely brilliant. I love all this Warlock period, and it's just great. It was very, very odd. At the time, I remember getting it thinking, wow, this was incredible. Of course, now it's quite commonplace, these sort of stories, and you think, oh, but the sort of cosmic scale of it was just something when I was it. And the same, one and the same, fight me, your very soul, etc., etc. And you've got obviously Magus there, the main character. Of course, old Thanos turns up as well. So that throws everything, the kitchen sink into this. Also, you've got the In-Betweener and many other characters. But it's just brilliant. I just love the story. It's just still brilliant to read even now. Just love looking through this. The Judgment, you've got the church, of course. You've got, look at that brilliant cover there. Absolutely crackingly good. Judgment Day. And also it goes into some very weird sort of fantasy sequences as well, which is reality, and he's obviously got his mind probe or whatever it is, and he's obviously you will still refuse to accept me as your future, just as I remember. So that's always the weird things with these stories. Of course, that timeline, of course, all those sort of things. And you've got Infinity Effect, obviously bringing in the Infinity Gauntlet already straight away there. Loves that sort of concept of infinity. Pulse-pounding premiere issue. Now, this is obviously Warlock number 9. I remember buying it at the time, thinking, what a brilliant issue. Of course, you've got Magus there, and Gamora, etc., and Pip. Great characters, and I love these stories. And again, stand back phrase, and you've got obviously good old, you know who turns up. Like literally he's everywhere now. He's like Kang or Doctor Doom. There's and Thanos there again. Good old Thanos. Now I'm surprised they haven't brought a Thanos gallery edition out. That would be something. And in between it turns up in here as well. And I love old Pip as well. That's great. Great sort of story like that. However, I love the this one as well. This is a great storyline, and I love when he sort of comes and he's absolutely massive. It's just brilliant. What is it? Homecoming, the Star Thief. So you got the Star Thief story as well, which is sort of slightly disconnected from obviously from the church / Thanos / all that sort of storyline, but it's still really good. But he's drawn into the jewel there. Being drawn into the jewel. So that was a bit before the time of obviously all the Infinity Gauntlet, where it. I don't know if those ideas were bouncing around at that point, but certainly, obviously, it became eventually with the Infinity Gauntlet. But it's just great stories. Now I don't want to obviously spoil every aspect of it, but look at that, just great battle scenes as well. Of course, you've got the Avengers in it as well. You've got Spidey, you've got the Thing, you've got everyone in it. The whole kitchen sink's in it. Of course, the Thing is great. There's a Captain Marvel story with Thanos and the Thing as well. So however, this is just beautiful. Let's just show another example there. And you can see it is still an absolute quality. But again, because it's slightly bigger than this one, sometimes when you look at the original art, compare the two, actually I quite often like it slightly a bit smaller actually. But still, at the same time, it still makes this definitely a more cosmic sort of book in terms of the artwork. It's just great. And actually works even better is actually the back bit with all the bonus material, because you really can see the sharpness there. When you actually, again, you can hear the sort of stick in there. But look at that, just absolutely real crisp. I'm really surprised Marvel has never brought out a sort of like a /artist edition book of these as well. You think the original pages must be around, and been lovely to see them all like that. It was super crisp quality, maybe even bigger than this, obviously. Maybe that's something for the future that they will be doing. But Death Ship, again, you've got that love. And this is the thing that these gallery editions really, for me, are always great. You can, I mean, the bonus material here is great when you see them in this, but I think when you see them on this sort of real beautiful quality paper, I think the artwork is, I love that. That story is one of my favourite stories. Just absolutely classic story. Then it's got some more extras as well, pulse back, and then you've got this, which is weird because you've got the Silver Surfer one. Apparently, it says here that reprint title, obviously reprinting Jim Starlin's Adam Warlock saga as well. So I didn't know that. I must admit, I think I vaguely remember buying a few of those Fantasy Masterpiece ones. But you've got, of course, lots and lots of examples of the covers, so many times redone, more covers redone, and also some lovely. Again, it's sticking. It's very annoying. That. A Trollish Tale, there you got there. This is a special edition. Split some stories across 2 issues, etc. New title pages were drawn. So you got that sort of thing as well. And yes, it's also got this, again, that's sticking. Actually, that's pretty bad, that bit. And you got the Foom bits as well. I love Foom. I would love them to bring out a massive big edition of all the Fooms in this sort of format. It would be brilliant. That would be. You've got Gamora at the back as well. You've got the Warlock. You've got yet more of the brilliant covers there, because of course they were reprinted numerous times. But again, sadly, these ones haven't been reprinted that often. They've only been reprinted in the Essential series in black and white. I don't know if I've ever seen any collections of those classic stories of Warlock. But again, some more pages stuck together and some more examples at the back. Don't know why they went for this. You know, you might as well add a few more pages, maybe put the price up slightly, maybe that was the thing. And obviously just having this sort of gap, it's just odd. And again, you've got some more pictures there. It would be nice if those ones were actually, because that would have been superb, that one. Love that one, that cover. Cover by New York Lee. And you've got Jim Starlin at the back. However, what a superb collection. Absolutely. If you're a fan of the Warlock, this by Jim Starlin, this period, I think you're going to have to get this collection. I mean, this is just obviously the best format. Unless they bring out, like I say, a special artist edition where it's even bigger and actually got the original art pages, then obviously it's going to be superseded. As long as that's not recoloured and just done with the ink pages, that would be superb. I think this is going to be as big as it's going to get. Unless they bring out a monster edition, of course. But then again, I don't know if the monster edition would work, because I think that the pages, when I look at this, unless they go to the original source, I don't think it's just not going to work, because it's getting to that point where you look at the line, the artwork, and it's just not as super crisp as it could be when it gets to this level. And the Monster Edition might push it a bit. It was like for me with the Marvels one. I love Marvels. The Marvels one, Alex Ross, one of the best. Brilliant. I love the small version. Got the big monster size one. Just didn't work. It was just weird, just ruined it for me. And I quite often find that when it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, unless the source material really is good. Sometimes you just look at the line and just, I'm afraid I just look at that. To me, it's that sharpness that and the way it's drawn and everything. You look at the thing. When it's bigger, it's not always better. But this is really superb. And I have to say, if you're a fan of this material, you're going to have to get this volume. This is totally recommended. Absolutely brilliant. Love the bonus material. I mean, I wish, of course, they would add another 100 pages worth of bonus material back. More articles would be great, of course. They don't do that. I don't know why they've never included articles at the back as well. Seems to me, it's a golden opportunity to get these people to interview them, find out what were their thoughts, opinions, what were the thoughts and opinions of fans, maybe the letters pages or whatever that were included at the time. Just include the kitchen sink, basically. It always seems a pity that opportunity like that to create a really definitive version is somewhat always slightly missed. And it's still up there. Good 9.5 out of 10, I would say, in terms of the quality. But just a few little more bits would have been just made it even more special. Maybe other people are not interested in the letters pages and things, and articles, but I love that sort of stuff. And an introduction by Jim Starlin, etc. And those sort of things is always good as well. Anyway, Warlock by Jim Starlin. Absolutely cracking, superb.